Guys, do you hear me? If you do, please type me in chat. Okay, cool. Okay, guys. Good afternoon, everyone. Today we will do some SQL practice, and while people joining, I posted in general channel in Slack link to our retro today. You can start type something. Someone from TestPro raised hand. Denise, it's you.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Guys, did you find this link in general channel? I will right now start sharing my screen and will open this link what I sent to you. And today's our agenda. It's simple. We'll do some retro today, about 15 minutes, and then we'll do some SQL practice. We will have a break somewhere an hour, about 2:30 Californian time. Come on, guys, continue, type something. Because this one, retro, I probably, so you missed some retro last few Saturdays, but actually it's something what you will do with your team like every 2 weeks at the end of every sprint. It's main responsibility of QA as well, because all people from your team, dev, project manager, everyone will add something, and we can just check what went well, what we did wrong, what we can do different next sprint. And it's important to make some bullets.
It's retrospective meeting, guys. It's exactly what we're doing right now.
I see just 41 person like stand up in SQL. I think like it's a bug in idea board because I often see like 200 people like one node. It's not possible, probably it's some bug. One person can just like it forever. Max, I see you raised hands, but I don't see right now where. to do it. I did it once for Dimas. Let me find. This option where people raise hands anymore. I can just probably unmute someone. So you can talk. No, for some reason. Okay, let's see what is like. Stand up in SQL was good. It's great. The bootcamp was better, much better organized. It was this column actually what went well. If you think it was not right, you need to do it in different column. The beginning was really good. Nothing yet difficult and boring. Guys, it's all about QA work. Sometimes it's difficult, sometimes it's complicated, and sometimes it's really boring because you need to test something. Sometimes it's fun, but if you do some regression testing or something like this, you can execute your 2,000 test cases just for weeks, and it can be boring. To make it different, people do different things. Like if you found new job and you got experience and you think it's already enough for you in boring in this company, you can implement something new for them. For example, you start doing automation, you learn yourself and try to implement. Or another option, you actually changing job. Because the difference between all the companies, they can do different stuff, and some company can be boring, some company always have much more fun, new features and different events. That's why it's like in real life as well.
Yeah, the last company that I worked for was, they had this, it's a learning company really, it's about learning. And they had this wonderful concept about like self-improvement. So they really force you to work on yourself and learn something. Otherwise, and grow as a professional. Otherwise, you get bored.
Yeah, it's true.
And that's so
and
true.
Nobody will create fun for you.
If you get bored, you're not gonna work efficiently, let's say, right? And if you don't work efficiently, then, well, you're screwed. So, because it's life, guys, life sometimes is boring too. So we have to figure out ways of how to make it fun.
Yes. Yeah, you find the new tools, you make a suggestion what you can do better or what you would like to do, and company most of the time they will happy to assist you and give you a chance to improve some stuff, but nobody will do it instead of you. Okay, what was not so
Yeah, I have another comment about the beginning. So yes, SQL API automation and all that stuff is more complicated for sure. And that's why it's high paid, because a lot of people, they just don't grow. And in reality, it's really enough for you if you understand the concepts, and if you get your resume prepared, it's really enough for you to get a job. Most of the people will actually get QA analyst job, which is not requires like in any API or database or automation at all.
Yes, it's true. Okay,
I know people who's been working as senior QA analyst for 10 years, and they don't give it anything.
I was a senior QA from the start, and I didn't do SQL like for 3 years, first 3 years in my previous companies. and it was okay because I had different responsibilities, and but I had like different something, for example, created plans and so on, but still not always you will use API and SQL, but more company right now is already requires
Yeah, I
this.
would say SDLC, like agile concept, like the one that we're doing right now, retrospective, is very important agile activity, Scrum activity, right? So those concepts like testing, QA, like general stuff, reporting bugs and writing test cases, and that's it really. You can get a job. But you have to know all of those things, and you cannot like not answer a question what's like retrospective meeting for or something like that, because otherwise if you don't understand those things, I mean, there's no conversation at all.
Yes, and I saw some people already posting some questions about interview, and simple question, can you work independently? And person said no, and interview was done after this simple answer. And nobody will ask you about SQL and API, you know, like because they need to figure out on your phone screen that you're smart person and you know what you do, and nobody will ask you actual like technical questions. They can just ask you if you can do it. Nobody will give you any exercises. And first of all, when you're trying to find first job, the main challenge is to pass this phone screen. And it's not about technical at all, first few interviews. And even for senior and that positions, we see more and more people who are going to interview, it's 5 hours, 6 hours, and no whiteboard, no coding exercises. People still want to see person who want to grow, who want to learn, and even they did some fails in their exercise before interview, and they still getting cool jobs with high pay, but no whiteboard, you know. Okay, what was else not well? We didn't complete any project from beginning to end, and actually to any project, like we have bootcamp for 12 weeks. It's not necessary we need to finish all our development work. Nobody will finish our development work for 12 weeks, right? It's project what will be continue and continue. You do just small part of it during like 3 months. You implement new features or you continue build something. It shouldn't be from start to end. You start to explore this website, you found some bugs, then you create a test suite for your regression, right? Smoke suite and regression suite. It's exactly what you need to do. And it will never be end. They will implement new feature and you will execute again and again this regression circle. That's it. And the project will not end at all. And about these two websites, what you actually have experience with, like it's Deans and Workshop, it's real life, guys, and it's startups. And actually, when you will find new jobs, some of you will join like big companies. Some of you will join startups, and you know how it works. Companies, they have ideas, they know what they want to build, and they found money for this, and they hire people, QA, project manager, and at the end of year, for example, they spent all their money, and product is not really was successful in the market. And you come into your work next day, and they just saying, "We are done," and that's it. And today your work will be done. They will pay for maybe 2-3 months for you when you will looking for new job, but it happens with startup very often. I saw it as well. Yeah, and right now it's just a study project.
If they have money. So the thing is, Vostorg, for example, so Deans wasn't really successful from the beginning, but it's been around for 2 years almost. Vostorg, on the other hand, they actually raised $1,200,000 from what I know. And that's the money that investors spend really for developing the project. And they had a team of like 10 developers or something like that. They allocated here in Los Angeles. So those guys are very well paid, but it just didn't fly. So they had to shut it down. So they basically just lost like that $1,200,000 and their jobs as well.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, because we are not affiliated with these guys, of course it impacts us as well, but there is really nothing we can do. Of course, I could ask you to buy something from Worcester to support them, but you know.
Yeah, people even was worried, like if I create account in this website and I'm working right now with kids, can they find later my information because they cannot buy marijuana? It was funny.
No, so Worcester is completely gone. Even production is gone.
Yeah, now not all websites were down. Android Studio emulations, probably someone had like issue with installation. I saw some in general channel as well. Nobody says which video to watch in LMS. Guys, LMS, it's right now, it's very well organized already. If it's a section database in SQL, you need to find all videos related SQL and database and watch it. If it's a section mobile, you need to find section mobile and watch it. And every time after my classes, I always say you what to watch. And again, like it's full bootcamp and all information available for you. You just need to go one by one. We are not first grade. You need to watch all videos, of course. It's the end already of bootcamp. It's already 10 weeks, right? You need to watch all of them at this time. It just may be automation last, but
yeah, you just pick one lesson and watch those videos one by one, and then you have practice session that you of course participate in, and it's over again. Then there is a quiz, and then you repeat the same process for the next class. I mean, simple.
Yeah, homework checks organization. Not enough practice and not enough info about real job. Everything looks like we already know everything. I don't know what to say about this because we explain how real job works, and I always give you example from my job, especially. It's really how it looks like in real life, guys. If you think like it's different, it's just study project. No, it's really how it looks. That's it. You have tasks, you're doing them, you work with Jira, you're writing test cases, you're writing bugs, you have retro, you're planning your work for next 2 weeks. It's how real life work. And you have bunch of interview questions, sessions, and where we discuss about all of it again and again. And also you have mentoring sessions, right?
Yeah, I would add here then, sometimes your environment can be done for like 3 days and you completely stuck. It happened to me on my the recent project, and the whole company is trying to fix it, but there is nothing you can do. You just sit there for 3 days and basically doing nothing, kind of.
Yeah, and it's hard part of this every time just to speak on every stand-up, because even they block you.
To get a Jira access, it can take you 2 weeks easily. I mean, it's no joke. And guess what? You're sitting and doing nothing, just asking like, hey, is my Jira access ready? Can I finally? And then you finally get it, and they say, okay, go and create test cases in like TestRail. And you're like, yay! But hey, hold on, I don't have access to TestRail. And you're like, hey, who can give me access to TestRail? And they're like, yeah, another 2 weeks.
Yeah, and even more for me, it was difficult sometimes when, for example, I blocked somewhere, you still need to go to stand-ups and you need to speak out, right? You need to say like what you did last 8 hours, like previous day. And sometimes it changed because you actually don't have work, like real work, and you need to find what to do. You will find like some learning process, right? You will say like, I started to think about automation and what we can automate, because you need to create ideas for you what to do in 8 hours, because you blocked. You cannot just say nothing, I didn't nothing, and they will pay for you. You still need to find what you did last 8 weeks, and it happens sometimes for weeks, and it's really challenging because you need to create work for you and to do something like this, because it becomes boring. It happens as well. Yeah, actions, more information in LMS and explain.
So guys, you're not supposed to add those action items. Those are for product owner.
Yes, product owner actually depends from what we did well and what we did bad. He creates these actions items, and people start adding like find a few extra hours in date. It's cool. I wish to have them as well. Do the real stand-ups who already works in QLead positions. Answer a question in Slack as soon as possible. Guys, we're trying to answer questions as soon as possible, but sometimes people just don't read what was posted before. We answer the same questions again, again, again. You just open Slack and post it. And one person before you, it was hour ago, asked the same question. Make pleasure and just read it, right? Because we cannot answer like again, again, again. I have personally installed Slack in my phone and I answer all the time. Some of you asking questions and after we answer them, you don't even watch them and don't say like, thank you, you know, but we always
guys,
answer
and don't
questions.
expect we're going to be answering your questions if it's 2 a.m. at night. For example, in New York, you can ask, it's in Los Angeles, it's 11 p.m., but come on, in New York, it's 2 a.m. Who's going to answer those questions? I mean, guys, please be real.
Yeah. Okay, and I have some questions in chat and we will go forward with SQL. Can we have other project when what we will work with? It's actually a question to Dennis probably, but actually
Sorry, what was that again?
Will they have new project?
Yes, we are gonna have a new projects, hopefully Monday. We're getting accesses to a new project right now. But then it takes us time to figure out like what is that project about, what are we gonna do and everything.
And another question was, can we add websites and start writing test cases? It's the same probably. Another one, can we add to resume? Yes, for sure, because you work with this even if they're down and they not exist, you still work on them, you can add them into projects, for sure.
Yeah, and that's actually a pretty good side effect of this, because now you're gonna have a lot of projects in your resume, which looks solid. And since it's not just projects that you heard of and you're really hands-on, you can just use them for your own benefit.
Okay, Zilola still complaining that nobody answered my questions. I will check, Zilola. I expect you from B6. I will scroll again, ask teacher. If it's you looking for my help or Marina help, you need to post in ask teacher. You post in everywhere, videos, channel, home, not you especially, like all people, but you have special channel for questions. Ask teacher. It's what we're supposed to check. We are checking all the channels, but can you imagine how many channels we have in just in your Slack? And personally, people start and typing in private messages. You have ask question session and channel. You need to be there if you want to be answered.
So there is a question about QA being a real stand-up. So probably it's like, can a QA person lead a stand-up and really do the kind of Scrum Master responsibilities, at least if I understand it correctly. So in my previous company, we had another senior QA person, and she was doing Scrum Master for like a year or so, because we didn't have like dedicated Scrum Master. And it's okay. I mean, it's not a big of a deal, really.
And Scrum Master, even he can be in vacation, someone just takes this role.
Yeah, I replaced her a couple of times. I'm certified Scrum practitioner, but I just don't like it. That's it.
Yeah, but actually, it just role of this stand-up person. He just ask like a circle what you did, you know, like, and yeah, it's actually like the main role of this person. If someone need to lead this stand-up, you don't need to decide anything if you just need to ask person. They just
it's really about process. It's not like decision making or anything. It's like super clear. All that you need to do is just 1, 2, 3. That's it.
Yeah. Okay, guys. We have another section of questions answer, like overall about databases and so on. We will happy to answer. And let's start with our amazing SQL. And as you know already, we don't have access to Workstork anymore. I was lucky to spend a few hours before they announced they're not working anymore. But today we will have access to another database what TestPro created for you. It's our new LMS website. And we have access to their database. It's not full yet, but we can still practice. You can right now connect to this. You should install it for now, right? And you have access to this database. It's actually, you see like this DB can connect you to different databases In our case, in Workstork, it was Postgre, right? But right now it's MySQL. But actually, remember, I told you it's not different at all. It's all SQL databases. It's still tables. You see, I don't care like if it will work right now with MySQL. We will do the same stuff, and we will just explore what they have. And type me please in chat if you're able to connect, and we will start to explore what we have in this database, and we'll do some first exercises.
But yeah, actually, let's see how it looks like on the front end.
Yeah, can I post this link?
Yeah, just without logging information, yeah.
Without login information. Okay, let me log in then. Especially.
So it's we're moving to another learning management system, and you are first people who actually can see it.
TestPro trying to become better every time.
Yeah, because again, because of this retrospective meeting, we know that current LMS has a lot of issues and the user experience is not that good. So yeah, we are moving to another learning management system. I think it has, this one has more functionality and it has more better experience for you guys.
Okay, I have credentials. You guys will not have credentials for now, but you see this website looks like this. It's Dash Academy, TestPro, you see, and here's some information, some quizzes, premium material, and probably later people who bought this course, they can have credentials and can log in to this, but right now it's a test version of it.
Yeah, just an example. So you see, it's like lorem ipsum, a kind of thing.
See this platform like first time as well, but yeah, let's see what here. All courses, for example, you see like they have home, all courses about, contact, and my account. If I will go to my account, I expect to see probably how many courses I have, how many points, you see, how many courses I completed. Yeah, we'll try maybe to find something.
Basically, the same thing that you guys, so it's very similar to current LMS. So it's much easier for you at least to understand what's going on. If it would be like brand new application, it would be really hard.
And right now, probably we will simulate the same what you will do in your first job, because you all asking how many tables should be in database and what we need to do if we never seen this. Right now, me personally, I never saw this website, and I just hour before this class, just very fast. And especially like, for example, I'm starting this job with Dash, right? And I got access to SQL, I got access to our project, and okay, and right now I'm QA, nobody around me, I'm just doing my 8 hours at work, right? And what we will do, actually, we will explore first, right? First of all, we will explore this website to see what is there, and when we will have access to SQL database, it's again, we will try to explore what is there, what kind of columns. Here, columns kind of tricky, but you can try to read it. You see, like you can skip these first words, but here, like end of all tables. Sorry, probably I need to explain from start. If you expand this MySQL 8+, what you installed, we will have this database user.
Yeah, guys, do you know why it's called like A2VP818? Any guess?
I don't.
Because it's very sensitive information. That's why it's very, usually it's kind of named in a weird way, so nobody from the outside can guess it.
Okay. Can you tell how QA test DB in work while using DBWare VPN or other tool? Guys, you don't need to think about it because right now, in our case, you have credential, you can connect to database. In real life, you will do the same. They will give you just credentials, you will have tool installed, or they will say, for example, install MySQL, you will go to official website, you will install it if it's not installed at all. You will have a server where you connect login password. And depend from your login password, you will have different rights in this database. For example, you can update data, or maybe your administrator, you can create tables. But actually at work, they will give you just all credentials. It's not your job, just guessing. They will give you what to install and how to log in. That's it. And in real life, it's absolutely the same. Right now, for example, Denise provides us login credentials, right? We're all able to install. It's exactly how it will be in real life. We can log in, that's it. We don't care about anything else. If it required VPN, it probably will not require just for SQL. It will be required to connect to all systems in your company. They will have installed in your laptop VPN, or they will give you some instruction which VPN you will need to use. Because, for example, from home, you need to log in via VPN to make sure it's secured connection, right? But they will give you all these details. It's a lot of different VPN applications that you can use, but company already will have something and they will just provide access. Right now, in our case, we just need login password. It's not VPN. It was for Postgre for previous project, right? Right now, it's just login password and you don't need to be VPN. For right now, maybe TestPro will close it for us, but right now it's open. And let's see what they have. You see, like in this database, it's actually our server. You see its server name, we connect to this. And we have some settings. You see, I don't have even rights to see these users. If I will have a login password for admin to this database, I probably will able to do some settings. Right now, we just use what we use. Probably we have access just to tables and we can read data from table. I try to update and I don't have rights with this password, what we all will use.
Yeah, because it's really critical. You can mess up a little thing somewhere in the database and the whole application will be broken. And it will take like days to figure out what's wrong. So that's why they usually try to limit, limit your rights.
Probably this website, what right now we're trying to test, it's production. In real life, you will have like QA copy. Right now, it's not in live yet. Not all students use it, but actually it will be a production website, kind of production. It will be the same link. If in QA work, you will have copy of this, you will have, for example, LMS/QA, and you will have similar database. And there probably you will able to update data and to do some other actions. But here is actually production and where people create some content in LMS session for next groups. That's why we will just watch this and we are not allowed to change something. Let's see what columns they have. You see, like it's pretty readable. If you will just read like last words from this column, it's we can find easily like users table. You see, what else? Post. It's probably people who posting something. It will be in this table. It's about orders. If people will buy QA course, probably basic QA 8, 9 or something, we will probably will have access here and to see who bought it, what they placed, what kind of courses they have, right? Let's find first table users. You see like this, scroll down and you will able to find this. I will not read this first words, users, this column users.
Yeah, this prefix is again, it's to kind of mess up the name a little bit so it's not that clear for hackers in particular.
Yeah. Just let's pretend we don't have this swap. I will just call like users terms to make sure like we understand like, and yeah, try to find this first table and you can expand this information about that table you see. And here you will see some settings, columns. If you will expand columns, you will see all columns what in this table. And remember, I told you about data type. It's here, you see. For example, for user password, it's allow like 255 characters. See, like integer, it's kind of settings what they did like when they create this table.
Yeah, this one is basically a database schema.
Yeah, And here you see, you already asked me how I can know like if it's primary key. You see it's small key here in ID column. It's key or it's lamp or something, but anyway, it's first, most of the time, like primary key, it's first column, and you will see the sign. Sometimes it will be small key, sometimes it will be something different, but anyway, it's for sure a primary column for this table. And it's good stuff in the here because we can open like foreign key, and here we can see connections. It's very easy to find. It's not set up here in the TestPro, but actually in Postgre, when I checked previous website, if you open these foreign keys, they already set up this relationship between tables. Actually, if they will have foreign keys in other tables, they will have name of table, where it's related, and name of column. And it was easy to find connections. And another way, like if you're doing like this user, right click here, view diagram. You see, like right click on this table, view diagram, and actually here we can find these connections as well. You see, right now, again, they just didn't set up like a foreign key in this, but it's kind of, yeah, this table, you see. And in another database, I saw like it was multiple tables and it was some arrows that connect to each other. It was similar what I have for you in presentation previous. I will show you example in different database today. You will see all these diagrams. And if you are not sure how they related, you can easily find this diagram and see all names and all connections. I hope you already found all this users table, right click on it, and you need to find read data in SQL console. If you click on this, select read data in SQL console. Click on this and you will see this table. And actually you see it's automatically create a query for us. It just select all data from all table, you see. And remember, we can do it like this, or we can easily like to change it to star, and I expect it will be the same result. It will be all columns from this table. But by default, they have just 2 comma. ID. It's the same for Mac. Yes, it should be the same for Mac. No difference, guys. It's already application what we use, and it should be absolutely the same. And here, right now, probably I will ask like if it's you did some steps, and I will wait like few person who found it, and I will go for, because right now just type me if you're able to open this user.
SQL is not about Mac or Windows. It's running on the backend on the server, and the client that you use really doesn't matter. So the queries are the same for any client.
Right. Okay, I see 1+. Guys, someone else able to open this users table? Works very well. No? Okay, one more time for people who say it no. You need to open this, connect to this database from instructions. You need to expand database. We have just only one database. Pro something. You need to find table folder, expand it, and I ask you to find users table. Right click on it and click read data and in SQL console, and you will see this table. You see here, it's already our table with our data. Cool, I see like, okay, and try to change it to asterisk as I show you. You see, you will see the same result. If you, for example, don't want to do right click to any other table, you can simply here type different query from you see, it's easy in real database because right now I just type a server name, and right now if I start typing something like any table name, you see I have list of tables. I can pick up anyone from here and I don't need to type all name. It's easy because you can do typo if you will just try to write all of this, but it gives you some, actually, you see I type another sentence. In this case, in DBViewer, you can select any statement. For example, you have two different statements here. You see this little arrow? If you move cursor to here, it will say like execute SQL statement. If I will click on it, it will run my statement. You see right now I select different statement, actually different table. It's empty, but it works. You see right now it's different table for me. Okay, this, I hope you found this one. We will use this button all the time when we will do any actions because it's run our statement. Select here. Here we go. Can you show from the beginning, please go in users. Okay, one more time about console, guys. It's it's simple. Find MySQL, what you installed. It should be here. Expand. You will see these 4 folders, database users. You need databases folder. Expand it, click on it. You will see one server that's available right now for us. Expand it. And right now, all tables available for you. You need to find a table. Let me copy the chat. Name of table. Oops. It's not. I cannot type to. I got error, table pro doesn't exist because you try to open old server. You need to expand this pro and you will see list of tables. Right now you're trying to open old server. You need to go one level down. You need to expand this one. You see, it's one more. It's here, expand it, and you will see tables. And in these tables, you need to find this table. Okay. You see, like right now, all columns available for us. And let's do first statement. For example, I need to find user. Let's try to find user with email like TestPro. I will give you like 30 seconds to do first steps because I will type it later. Remember to find some specific, to specify some something what we need. We need to use statement where. In our case, I'm typing like a name of my column. You see, I have a list of columns. What I can choose, user email, equal. And let's say I don't know what is the name of my email. I would like to use, sorry.
Guys, who can guess the query?
We will use like TestPro. Cool, Misha. It's right. Yes, we need to use like this like statement. You see, I'm typing quote, and right now I will specify %signs, and inside of this %sign, I will type TestPro. I don't know what I'm looking. but I will be okay if if my email will contain like TestPro domain or maybe name, and run it. You see right now we have 3 results. We have actually 3 users with email like TestPro. You see this result? User email, it's our column what we specified. And here you see like all these users, they have TestPro domain. You see? Previously it was 6 users. Right now it's displaying us just only 3. And let's say I want users with Gmail that account or something like this. Maybe it exists, Gmail. Because right now just 6 users, but when all students will use it, of course it will be hundreds of different emails. And if I will need to find some specific user, I will use just query.
And this is actually how all those web or mobile application works. When you in a Google search, when you type something like, I don't know, Gmail, let's say, it goes to a huge database and executes this kind of queries, selects like star from some table, where query like, and whatever you typed in on the UI. And it returns that back on the page, and that's why you see all those results. Those all results basically because of select query in the database. Does it make sense, guys?
I expect nobody will listen to you. Guys, to find this run button, again, it's here, it's arrow. You see like orange arrow for me.
Or,
like
or you just do Control Enter.
Yeah, or Control Enter, yeah, it still works. If you got error, probably it will be a message here what you did wrong, or you did maybe syntax error, or maybe you sometimes trying to run command what not supported by this specific database. Now, how can I open window where you writing? It's the same if you right click on any table, it will open this window. And here actually should be explain. It should be some button here to run new, just create brand new query. I just don't see it here. Maximize file query. Denise, do you know? Do they have this button where we can create new list for new query if it's not related to data to specific table? It should be something here. I cannot find it. Most of the time, it's just regular how you open in browser, like it will be plus button and it's allow you to open new page. But if you cannot find it, just easily double right click on any table, open read data in SQL console, just remove it all previous statements and type there. Okay. My Windows is different than yours. I can figure it out. Sorry, that's why we post all this. Are you able to open this table at all? It cannot be different. We have all the same version because we all install on the same day. We all have DB version 6.3.0, and we all have access to the same table. If you cannot find, it's okay. We can just help you later, maybe. Okay, guys, let's do something else. Let's remove this Gmail. You see, like I changed to Gmail and I saw one user with Gmail. And same idea, for example, if I want someone which names the ending starting with A, for example. Oh, sorry. For example, it will start from A, email.
So we don't use 2% signs now, you see? It starts with A.
Yes, it means I want to find all emails with starting with A. You see, and I don't care what will be after A. You see, and all emails here starting from A. If I will do different way, for example, I will type $sign first and then M, I would like to see all emails. With the latest letter, it will be M. If I will run this sentence right now, you see, all my emails finish like .com, it's MMM. It's probably 3 other users, they have another domain. Probably. You see, it's IO, it's not displaying. Actually, I didn't find in the behavior how to comment, but it should be possible, right?
Yeah, sure.
Because regular, most of the time, I already told guys, okay, here.
Control back slash, yeah.
Okay.
You can select whatever query and then just.
Yeah, but I tried to do so, but it didn't work for me. It's weird.
No, just
right now, users user email. Let me try to. You see, okay, the main difference, you need to type to dash if you want to hide this row and space. You see, it's space. Two dashes and space, and right now, if I will run my query, it will not read this row. Because, for example, I did some practice, right? And I did some scenarios in my query, but right now I don't want to use it. I just want to see all users again. I don't want to delete it because maybe it will be needed. But here you see, right now it's just not reading. You see, it's still just select all users. Sometimes it's good because you need to, you see right now, it's not changing for me in this. Okay, like, you see, if I do some mistake, it's saying me what I'm doing wrong. Okay, let's do next. Okay, we are statistic. I closed all my. It's redirect me to different table. Okay. I hope you did all this simple stuff, right? You have an error in your SQL syntax, check the manuals. Guys, look what you did. Maria Victoria, it's error saying MariaDB. Did you connect to MariaDB?
I believe there is a period before users, which is not should be there. That's it.
Yeah, it's interesting why it's saying like MariaDB instead of our actually MySQL. It's interesting, but it's still using. Yeah. Can you post your, if you're able to see like all tables, can you post or query what you're trying to run?
But usually just read the error message. It's, in most of the times it explains exactly what's wrong.
Yeah, it's saying you like it's comma probably. I don't know, you need to type as select all from. Ekaterina, no, it works, yeah, but yeah, I'm asking this Victoria who, you also have error? Because you have wrong syntax, you see? The name of table different. The name of table underscore users. You have just point dot here, you see? You have wrong the name of table. This table should be right one. Try don't type anything, because what I'm saying, You can easily to stay on table what you need, right click and find select query. And again, when you try to type any column name, it will still give you a list of correct column names, because in this type of names, it's really easy to do mistake. It will not work. Now we remember all these columns. When you try to type something, it will give you a list of examples what exists in this specific table. Okay, let's see what we have in our exercise.
Yeah, Victoria, there is definitely an incorrect period before users. You see, it should be underscore.
What I have for you. Okay, we need to count users next exercise from. Okay, let's right now we have 6 users, and let's do count how many users we have in this specific table. Who can type this query for me?
Yeah, we only have 6, but in real world, imagine how many users, let's say, Facebook has. Would you go to the database and do select star and then, I believe something about 1 billion, would you be counting them manually?
Zilolo asking if you disconnected the database. Answer is simple. You need to connect again. You just stay in this database. You can do the same steps what you did first time. And here you see it's a reconnect button here in menu. If you click on this, it will try to connect you to server again. Here, you see. Or you see like new database connections. If you click on this, it will give you an option to connect to different database. You can do all steps from presentation one more time, and it will be still connect you. Can you explain us when you found information in the table, how we have to use this info? Examples from real tester work. Thank you. One more time, I need to find, for example, I create user with my email. For example, my email was this one. Or actually,
you can use mine.
For example, I create account, you see, like with this email. I was here in our, where is our website? Here. I logged in. I create account. First of all, when you're in this page with no account, you're not logged in. You create account, right? And you have message. Your account was successfully created. Your QA work will be to check this UI message. And also you will go to database and check if in users table it was really created. But you have thousands and thousands users. How you can find this user? You will search it by your email, right? You just create it, you know this. For example, you will create account test34567. You will create like bunch of these stupid emails while you're testing. You will go to database. You need to, you know the table where it should be. It's actually users, it's obvious, right? And you will go and find this user. Is this new, for example, where email? Actually, let's find test.gmail.com. For example, right now, I just create account with this user. I expect this user have already a record in my database, right? It's connected, I create it in our browser. I'm going and check if table really displayed. And all my fields actually filled out in right way. I execute this query. And you see, where email? What do you want? It's not column email. User's email probably. User email. You see, I'm typing user, and I easily to find what is the right name of my column. Okay, I run it again. It actually exists. I expect this user will not be exist, but anyway, I create this user login. Ah, thank you. Okay, I wanted to show, for example, yes, right now you see like Dennis, he has access to create a user from browser. You see he creates this user with testgmail.com, and I'm just checking. You see, it's already ID 12. It's actually already not 6 users. It's already much more people creating accounts right now. You see, and I'm checking if it match what I created. Probably when I logged in, create my account, I specify a name like test G, right? I will check date. Sometimes, for example, you create today, but for some reason database use different date format, and it's can show, for example, like, I don't know, different time zone or something, and you will see this error too. You will need to check it. You will see your email, your login name. Actually, you will check all data what you enter a browser. You see, it's okay, it exists. It's how you test it. If I wanna, for example, just right now I create user with test3333, I run it, you see no users. I will go to my browser, check again. Actually, if it was not created, user will not able to log in to this browser, to this application, you see. If I just created it and it was successfully created and it's not existing in my database, it definitely issue somewhere. Maybe it's some disconnection between our API or database. And I will go to my devs and check with them what's going on. Actually, I will open DevTools and see first what happens with my API, if it works. Remember, with DINS, we did the same. It didn't work, but we were able to open API and DevTools. Okay, let's see. Did I answer your question with real life example? And actually, sometimes you need a lot of data, different data for your testing purpose. For example, you need to find all users. Like, for example, you have some pages in your website, or you have some data, and you will need to check it. You will compare with database.
Yeah, another example I already provided. For example, search. If you have search on your website, you search for something, and then you go to database and create the same query. So both result set should match really on the page and in the database. And sometimes there is something wrong. Let's say in database you get 10 results, on UI you only get 8. So now there is a mismatch, and it means that it's a bug. If you write a query in the right way, then it's a bug.
Okay, you see what I did? I actually comment, it's called like comment. We comment this line. I did two dash and space. And right now I don't want to use this test33 Gmail, but it will be still visible for us to remember what we did. Let's see what is the next we can do. And yeah, question was to count these users. Someone able to type? I would ask to chat someone to post a right query to count our users. How many users we have in this table? Because actually it was 6. Right now, a little bit more. One more. Max user, it's where we want to, if we want to find like maximum value. For example, it will be like price or something. It's different. It will be find max value.
Yeah, you can find like maximum ID, for example, you see? Because we have 7 users, but ID for the last one is 12, not 7.
Yeah, let's practice this one. Actually, I want to remove like all this.
But let's do count first.
Yeah, someone already posted, and it's right. It's count. You see like this count, and we want to split like, it doesn't matter right now what we will actually, which column we will use. It will be still count all rows in our table. Let's do like ID. This my cursor. ID. You see, I just type ID and it shows me all columns with ID. It's great because maybe I don't remember it. Okay, you see, and here we see result. It's 7. It's actually 7 rows in our table.
Meaning 7 kind of users, right?
7 IDs. Let's see what happens if we'll do like change to max. Remember this comment, what we know like max. Oops, max. And if you can see, like every time when I type something like SQL debugger, you see like it's highlighted and in red like a SQL command. All my tables name like regular font and size, you see, and all mass methods, they like max, average, count, they in blue. It's actually very easy. It's very user friendly. It's still want to read my highlighted. You see, I use max statement and it's actually 12. It means my ID maximum it's 12. It's the biggest number what we have in ID column. If I will do like min, it will find like minimum value. It actually will be 0 or 1, right? Depends.
So I used to work in a company. It was e-commerce website for lamps, and we were curious about what's the most expensive lamp that we have in the store. And basically that's how you search for it. It's a simple query, and you just give a price column. You say max price, and that's it. And the most expensive lamp was $25,000, and it's a real lamp.
Yeah,
Like
it's when you don't have work, you're blocked for your project, you're starting to count tables and database, yeah. You're starting to find the biggest value, how big prices. Yeah, you're just playing around. It's really
salaries of your team members and stuff like that.
Yeah, you're finding fun stuff in your SQL. Okay, minimum value, and probably let me change to. Did you guys did like minimum maximum value? And let's sort something. Cool. Naziba trying to ask us something. I have no idea. Wait, like I just can find here. Naziba, I will. You can try. I do the same thing, but cannot result. We cannot fix it right now because we have another like lot of people, 32 person who trying to do this exercise. We'll have break, and yeah, you can. What kind of error you have? I just don't see it. Can you post like screenshot of your laptop or something?
Yeah, post it in Slack.
Yeah, we cannot debug it because we don't see your screen. If you will post something like query what you run or screenshot what you have, we can try to find what was wrong. Let's see. And it's the same, guys, happens when you ask questions. If you type us in personal messages, you know, like try to post somewhere where people see, and people always leads and teachers and someone else who know answers, they always happy to answer. Okay, and let's do another one, and we will have like people. You see, like I'm simply return to all my table, just change to asterisk. Okay, and let's do order. I want to sort my users by login name from A to Z. I want to see like users who starting from A first and to Z. Can you type me comment what will be sort my user? I don't, if you post somewhere, I just don't see it. Naziba, I see answers of people, but I don't see your question. Did you post somewhere? I don't see it anywhere in channel. Oh my God, Sonia, is there... No, Sonia, it's not right way. It's simple command. Ask teacher. Let's see. Simple command to order, it's order by. order by, remember? Let's do order by from A to Z. For some reason, I don't see any messages in, I don't have this. Okay, this is better. Naziba, it's maybe not running. You need to select all the statement because try to select all statements from select to users and click run button. Yeah, sometimes it's tricky because if it will be, for example, here cursor, for some reason, sometimes it's not running. Yeah, but it work. I don't see statements about order. Someone can post me it? I'm waiting for right query. Descending way. Guys, someone? Yes, it's right. We need to specify like order by. Sonia, you are not, you are using like, not something what we did like last two lessons, username. No, it's simple. You just need to use command order by. You write like select all from this table, order by. You specify a column what you want to sort, user login, for example. And then you specify which way you want to sort. For example, descending way. If you sort descending way, you see, it's sorting from Z to A. You see, test account coming first, blah, 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 and then A, it's the last. If we change into ascending way, you see, sometimes it doesn't work because my cursor here. If it doesn't work for you, just select the statement, what you wrote, and click execute button. It's kind of probably a feature of DBIR. It should run anyway, but.
Maybe just delete those empty lines.
Yeah, it's start trying to read something different. Just select this and run, it should work.
Or close the query with a semicolon.
For some reason, you see when I run, yeah, right, it's probably more lines. Yeah, I see it was like this. It should be somewhere format where you will see like number of line, show line numbers, you see like, okay. And right now, if you will have big query and you will have error, it will say you which line is wrong. To do so, now people will ask me, just right click on this field where we write queries, right click, and here you see options, show script position, quick diff, and line numbers, you see? Here, show line numbers. And right now it just show me number of records.
And this is basically how ordering on a web page works. For example, you want to order by price on any website, right? So you click, you see some products displayed, you click the button order by price, and then from cheap to expensive, that's how I usually do it, right? And then that result set, this basically executes the same query like we write here. It will pull it from database in the same exact order, so you will see those products on your page in exact order. Again, sometimes there is issues with like price. For example, you can see first item will be $1, the second one will be 50 cents, but you asked from cheapest to the most expensive, right? So you definitely see like something is wrong. And if you go to database and run that query, you will see that actually it's different order in database. But on a web page, it's for some reason it's different. Again, it's probably a backend issue, backend bug. And it happens. In my previous company, we had that bug with the zip codes. If I asked sort by zip code, ascending, let's say, it would be random, really. It looks kind of okay, but in reality, some of the zip codes are definitely off. So that's a real bug from my real project.
And in real life, you will have, for example, new feature. For example, on this print, you create like, you previously had a lot of products, and your new feature will be create sorting on your page, right? From what Denise mentioned, like from A to Z to 8, you will have drop down button somewhere in UI. It wasn't exist before. You will test this feature. And of course, you will test because it will be new options, like, and it will be new feature in database as well. And you will compare all of them. And you will report back in this case. You can report from start, for example, you see something wrong and just report back. But the smart idea from QA perspective, you need to go and check database. Because if you will not do it, probably the developers will do it instead of you. But the great QA, it's trying to debug first and trying to find like what was the issue. Of course, you cannot like check code or something, but something simple like database or API, you can check and you can provide more details in your database bug report. It's like more advanced level of QA, but that's why nobody expect from you from scratch interview like do something complicated. They will ask something simple. If you even saw SQL database, if you saw how you use it, can you write like these queries and so on. And right now, next time, like next Saturday, you cannot say like we didn't give you like real life example. Right now, it's real life examples what we're trying to explain. You can use this example in your interview. Everything what we're saying, you can pretend like you did it, and just give them just example, this search issue, right? What Dennis right now explained. You can use it for your interview answers. When they will ask you what cool bug you found in SQL, you can give them this example, even if Dennis found it in his project. But nobody will know, right? Okay, guys, let's do some break. Right now it's 3:46, so let's return like 3:56. If someone still has issue, I hopefully on this moment, no. Just post in general, we will try to fix and we will continue with these queries. See you in 10 minutes. Okay, guys, do you hear me, right? Okay, let's continue. And the way how it works, actually, you see, like we just explore, like in real life, we will just explore like which tables, what is the name. For example, we can read from like post metadata, users, user meta terms. We will just simply open one by one tables to see what kind of data in there, because it's of course will be a lot of data in a website. If you cannot find something but you need specific data, you can always ask developers. They will really show you where you can find it.
Yeah,
Let's see.
sometimes it's just too big for you to try to figure out what's where.
Yeah. But schema always helps as well, but it's not always exists. For example, here you see, you can see like simple tables, but sometimes in these tables you can see like all tables together. You can create schema. Here it's called like here option database. You ask about new SQL window. You see it's here, SQL editor. You can find like new SQL editor. If you click on it, I believe it will open your page, you see. And here actually the same buttons. It's really always just simple app. You will, if you will work with DBVR, for example, you can always search by documentation. You see in DBVR Wikipedia, and they just explain what kind of features they have and how you can do this and find diagrams and schema. You can always, if you will work with Microsoft SQL database or Postgre, you can always find official, for example, Postgre, you see, Postgre tutorial. You're going to their website, you open like, they will always have documentation available. It's actually what SQL engineers use, like dev use. Nobody know all SQL database on all tables or all applications. They always find a new one for specific feature and explore it, read documentation and implement it. It's the same how you will work with this. If you work with this one, just open and read what they provide, where to find this and this and this. And Google always helps. It's how it will be in real life as well. See, it's a lot of, I can post here, maybe in this channel. I don't have access on this computer in my Slack. I will maybe post later in Slack as well. But here about SQL templates, what I mentioned, you can see what is the options in DBVR. A lot of documentations. Okay, let's see what do they have. For example, in this, let's find this post table. It's again like WP UH, like post. It's a little bit above users table. It's like post. Again, right click, read data in SQL console, and it will open this table.
That one is pretty big, actually.
Yeah, you see like here at the bottom, it's 200. It means 200 plus. It means how many records. It's just showing us right now, just first 200. It's again 250. You see, it's actually, again, answer, why do I need SQL? Because it will be like 300,000 of rows and you need to find specific data here, or you post something in database. In this case, this table post, it's actually someone who has rights to create pages in our website, who actually like admin. Where is our website?
Yeah, those are actually all the pages on this website. And
yeah,
even though you don't see them all,
they're somewhere in different.
They're still there.
Yeah, someone responsible, for example, create like all these pages, right? And they will create it in database, and our browser just display it. And for example, like it was feature again, like new page about should be visible, right? In this sprint, you create this feature. You create this about, not you, developers actually create this about feature, right? And you simply can find it in database. The way what you will do it, if it was created latest, you can just simply sort in this table, right? You can find always, almost all tables will have like date stamp. You see like post date, when this page was created. For example, this feature was implemented like this. These days, you will just simply order, sorry, not where. You will just simply sort date by post date. For example, the descending way. If you will run this query, you will see like the latest post first, because it can be like hundreds of pages, right? But you actually wanna test this record because it was created and you need to check like if it's still here, right? You see, and last one was created like post title was prepare interview questions. If you will explore, I don't know, somewhere probably inside of single course.
It's a basic QA.
Yeah, it's somewhere probably in
Yeah, basic
account.
QA down there. Number
It was
4.
that.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Basic QA, and here it will be somewhere into prepare. This one, you see this bullet. It
Well,
was added.
we have actually multiple classes with the same name, so that's another use of a SQL query, because you see if a name is the same, then which one are you looking for? The first one or second one or third one?
Let's see what is here.
And over there you can actually see the content.
You see it's actually page. What is the software development?
It's in actual HTML format. So you can just mouse over on it. I believe it showed like this tooltip. Yeah, this one, you see, understand this DLC.
It's gone. Yeah, you just move in cursor to post content row and you see some information. It's kind of weird, and it's again, remember we talk about different type of databases, with Mongo database and actually SQL. And it's one of reason why people trying to use MongoDB if they trying to save a lot of weight of text data. In this case, in SQL, it's really hard to manage, and people move into MongoDB because MongoDB allow like us to use like JSON files with big descriptions. Here, it's difficult to manage, and it will be heavy database later. It's why some teams already, like with e-commerce website with a lot of descriptions, they move into MongoDB for this reason. It was especially in my company, it was one of reason why we moved. And again, like in the MongoDB, it's not tables, it's JSON files, and actually like marketing team, they can just change this JSON file, send us over, and we post it. It was the way how we work. Okay, and let's see what is the columns here. Let's explore like what else. You see, it's actually user, again, like ID. You see
Post
how many
ID?
ID? Not post ID. It's,
yeah, this one is post ID.
First one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking somewhere. I wanted to show join, how to join. Probably remember we have 2. Like post author. Yeah. You see like in this user table, what we saw previously. Let me. You see, here it's not very clear, but actually these tables relate to each other. And somehow, for example, I see like it's a lot of different users who can access to website, right? And some of them, they have ability to post some data. And I want to see like who is actually this post table. It's slow, this table. And actually like it will be this column. It will be primary key for our users table as its foreign key here. it actually will be the same ID. It's not very clear here, but again, if a database will be set up correctly, if you will open here in foreign key, you will see this reference here. Right now, just TestPro probably didn't finish this part, but later, if it will be good created a database, you will see it here. It will be table users, it will be name ID, and you will able to understand all this relationship. Let's try. Let's try to find something in. Let me. You see how many columns right now here. And for example, I don't want to see all columns. I need just ID column. I need post author column. Who else? So like post title, post. It's a lot of post title. What else I want to see? Like maybe post date, and that's it. For example, I need data, but I don't need all this information for right now. It's difficult for me to handle and find everything what I need. I just specify specific column. I run this query, and right now you see my table just show me columns what I need. It will be easier for me like to search something. And actually, let's see if it will work. No,
why do you guys think we have 3 on top of the list with the same name? Why do you think they duplicated?
These 3. Why do you think like it's 3 everywhere?
No. On top of the list.
Top of all this table?
Yeah, just scroll to the top. Why do you guys think we have these 3 lines with the same, basically? Prepare interview questions, prepare interview questions, prepare interview questions. Any guess?
Different topics.
Because
yeah.
the page was updated. Yes, exactly. So someone created that page first and then changed something and then changed something else. So that's why every single change is actually logged in a database. So you can see exactly what was changed. And it stays there forever.
But again, it can always work different. For example, to see all these changes, sometimes they will create just different table and record all these changes. And in main table, it will be just latest updated post. It depends how they wanna see all these tables. Because in this way, if you will check like all changes, it will be really difficult for us later to handle all the stuff. Good idea will be just to create different one and track changes. And here it will be just last updated date, right? With all data. That's the last. But it's just my simple opinion as idea of DB. Okay, let's combine these 2 tables. So let's say we know like it's a primary key in users. Users table, it's column ID. You see, and we know it's related to this table post. And we wanna combine them together because right now you see like it's example why we need to join table. You see right now it just post author is 3, but I wanna see name of actually person and email who created, because this 3 it's actually his ID, but it doesn't say me anything, right? I don't see name and all this information. I wanna identify this user with his email. And email and all data of this user, it's in another table, in users table, right? And right now I want to combine both tables together. Let's do it together. Let's see. Actually, I wanna combine it a different way. Let's find users table. And to users table, we will. Okay. It's our table users. And right now we need to write syntax for join. What we will specify next? We want to select all columns for both tables. First table is users, and right now we need to say name of second table, right? Interesting, it will require from me. Yeah, we probably need to specify server name as well, and it should work without it. You see, like it's users table, it's post table. And right now, to see all these tables together, I need to specify what is the primary key and foreign key, right? What is the syntax, guys? Second table, why we don't put alias? Yes, we will put alias. It's what I wanted to show. Remember, I mentioned in previous session, sometimes it's very complicated column names and tables name, and it's difficult for me right now to join and always mention like all this name like again and again. And right now it's the way how I can use like variable, it's alias called in SQL. I specify this table here. I put space, and right now I will just give this table this simple name. And for this table, I will do the same, S, for example. And right now, to call this table, I can just use simply these names. I don't need to type anymore, big one. It will still work. In our case, you see, I specify first table, and I need its ID, actually. Will it work this way? It will not, I'm not sure if it should work, it should say me. Okay, for second table, it's, you see, I type just PS, it's name of our second table, and I just, it's already give me all column names from my table. And I need post also, I believe, right? ID. Yeah, right now it should work. Let's see. Okay, it worked. One more time, guys, what I'm doing. I do select command again. I specify I need to see all columns from both tables. Then I use like from, specify first table, space, and after space, I just give like variable number alias to my table. It's kind of like temporary name for my table. Then join, I specify second table, and I give temporary name to my second table. PS, it's our post table. And right now we need to specify how this both tables relate to each other. I specify table name, I specify primary key for this table, table one. I specify second table and foreign key for this table. You see, this ID, it's equal to post author. And if I run it, I actually see this data, you see. I see it was user, all data, and actually if I will scroll, you probably will see who posts something. So you see like Dennis, his first record, he posts first record like hello world. You see, it's actually
it was very typical for developers.
Hello world, yeah, it's first one what we're doing in automation to see if our first script works and our environment works. Select, for example, I don't want to see all these columns. Right now, you see like all columns from both tables, it's here. I don't want to see them all. I can specify which column it's interested for me, right? For example, it will work the same way. You specify table, dot, and okay, for example, display name, comma. Again, from this table, I want to see also email, comma. What else I want to see? Like, I don't know, email, login name maybe. And from second table, I want to see post content, and maybe what else? Post date. What else I can see? Like maybe comment status. Let's see what we have in comment. I'm running this again, and you see my table right now in result much smaller. I just see all this name, what I specified here: display name, user email, user login, post content, post date, comment status. You see, that's it. It was huge table that combined both together. Right now, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 columns. You see? And let's specify in these tables. I also want to check, for example,
this view kind of, it's not real table, right? There is no such table like this. Yeah. It's combined.
Yeah, it's kind of just temporary result what we looking for. It's not actually change anything to our tables, just view of let's say I wanna, you see like different type of comment status here: open, closed, open, closed. Let's see, I wanna just with comment status equal open, whatever it means. Okay, here we go.
What if you want to do more than open, just only one?
What?
If you want to specify more conditions.
More conditions, yeah. Interesting. Someone else doing everything what we do, or they lost, so the result is in the table. Can we save result? Yes, guys. Most of the time you should able to save like Excel table. I'm not sure how to do it in BVR, but it should be option. Yes, you see like import script, export script. You can save it. It should be option like you can open in Excel later or Word. It should be option. Edit. Let's see. Export, import. You can check it later, but yes, it should be, you should able to, yes, you see like it's here, like save as, yeah, you need to find it here. It will be your extra homework as well. Just see what is the option can be. But actually to save script, you can always, it's result table, and you maybe you will probably use it as well to save the script, because you will have like kind of test data, right? You specify some scenarios and you want to have this table somewhere saved in your computer.
Yeah, just right click anywhere on the result set. And then tools, oh no, sorry, what was that? Yeah, tools, export data, yeah, right.
Export data, yeah.
And then
it's, yes, you see like a different format what you wanna use. For example, I don't know, TXT, XML. Yeah.
CSV is supported by Excel.
I don't have installed on my computer. I will not show it. But anyway, if you will save it, you will able to open later, open to in your Excel in your computer. And it's actually how it works. For example, marketing team, it requests us to check some data. Now, for example, how many orders were placed like last month, or like biggest value, something like this. It's marketing team asking us, and some SQL engineers or someone else responsible have access to SQL. They actually created these queries and they save in actual Excel table and send to person who was requesting it. That's actually how it works. Okay, and let's add another condition to our query where open, and for example, and I don't know.
Post date is today.
Okay. Post date. I don't know if it will work. Sometimes you can just specify. Do you know the syntax of data here?
Try to do just today, and it's like a method with parentheses. Is there such thing?
No, actually it show up. No. Sometimes, yes, SQL Server, it's understand to like get data. I am not sure it's this one, but it should actually sometimes work with just.
Oh, it's cur date. CUR date, then parentheses.
Oh,
Yeah, you see.
Yeah.
A database has a lot of methods. It's like programming language. Don't forget about that. You see, it has like this, and this is method, so you need to do
core date. You see,
parentheses after. No, parentheses. This like one? Max, like min, yeah, the same syntax.
Just compare, you mean?
No.
I see what you mean. Post date. Do you want a more? I just did equal.
Yeah, equal cur date and then parentheses.
It's even so. Okay. Cur date. It's a little bit slow in my computer. Okay.
It's a method, right? So.
This one?
No. Skopki.
Okay.
Not.
Which one? Which one?
The regular ones.
Around this method?
After. Yeah, it's a
both
method.
Of them?
Yeah.
I see what, like this.
Yeah. So this is a shortcut because if you don't know like the date, you can type the whole date, but you see date, there is a time also.
Yeah, but nothing was posted today actually.
Yeah, you can compare, you can say before today and like basically anything.
Yeah, but you see like a specific to understand the syntax of the specific database, we can go to documentation and check it because of course it will.
Yeah, if you check out the documentation, it's like 600 pages or so. Yeah. It's huge. It's massive. I only know maybe 5% or so.
I never worked with. I don't know. It doesn't work for me. Should I change it like more than
date? It's a method.
Before. Okay. Again, this like this. It doesn't work for me. Did I do mistake somewhere?
No, I'm not sure about this before, but
you said like less than. Should it work like this with this method?
I think so.
Yeah, it works. Yeah, sometimes it just works if you specify just year, date, and months, and you just don't need to specify like timestamp. It will still compare like date. It depends from database actually. But again, if you will work with
this, dates are tricky because it's actually date and time, right?
Yeah, here you see, so it's not enough to.
It looks kind of. It's very big, right? You can compare like by seconds or by minutes, by hours. So that's why it's better to use this built-in methods. And again, if you check out the documentation, it's huge. So there is, if you don't know something, there's probably something there. It exists, but you need to Google for that. And it's just MySQL commands. For example, if you just Google MySQL today date, you will see like the post. The first one will say exactly.
Yeah, I never work with MySQL as well. I work like with server, but again, it's every time it's current date.
And it's actually more than one. You see right there, 3 functions. And it's actually pretty powerful. You can see like the different formats, and like even video you see, you can like say like a lot of things.
I believe if we will just type course date, it should run and probably retrieve the date from our server now.
Yeah, it will just print out the current date.
Yeah, in SQL Oracle, it's get date, I believe.
Yeah, it's slightly different from database to database. It's
select.
function. It's function.
Again. I see. I believe.
It's better to you click insert by mistake, I believe.
Yeah, it's just slow on my computer. I'm trying to type faster than.
Do insert one more time so your cursor is different. You see, it's like bold, very bold.
I tried. I know, I saw it yesterday.
And that's why it overwrites everything after.
So actually, this computer, I cannot install everything on my another computer, and yeah, have hard time. This computer I don't use at all in my real life. That's why it's not installed. It's select probably in this documentation. It was select. Like this. Yay.
You see, it's not even coming from database. It's coming from your basically computer, kind of. I mean, from database.
It should run from server.
Yeah.
Where is this database installed? Actually, it can be different. For example, I sit in Denver, and for example, my team and my database located in New Zealand or something like this. And our different, for example, I work today, and for them it's already tomorrow, and it will be mismatch between data. And this is why, it's kind of SQL engineers, and developers,
Does it match your date?
Date, yes, it's 14. No, I'm just to give example how it can be in real life. Like it can be we're testing in one zone, but SQL database in another one. That's why we see, for example, kind of bug. You're looking someone from today, and you are sure you posted something on the website today, but you see date with stamp for tomorrow. It's not possible. But answer can be just simple because SQL server just save date in wrong format because it's set up this way.
A lot of times it shows UTC time, which is London Greenwich time. But again, it can be configured. This particular server is in Arizona, so it pretty much kind of matches your time probably, right?
Current time, it's another statement, current time, this parentheses, whatever. You see, it's my time actually, you see?
Because it's Arizona, it's in Arizona. So that's your time zone probably.
Mountain time? Arizona has like a Californian time, or we have
No, I think it should be yours.
Yeah, it's showing me Denver time actually. We have 1 hour difference with California. I don't know, guys, can you try to type this command, select current time and parentheses, and to see if you have like your local time? Just interesting how it's set up. But
no,
actually,
it shows your time. It's Arizona. The server is in Arizona, so it's Arizona time zone, which matches with yours.
Yeah, it just the same as Denver time. Yeah,
so for me, it's the same. It's the same time, but it's 3:30 in Los Angeles.
Okay, it's an example, and let's return to our. I delete this. Select all from users. Please, let me type again these users. Guys, were you able to did this join? Users as users. Let's try to do different join. You can try to change to left join and see what happens. I believe right join doesn't work here, and full join as well. But it's again, it's from documentation. You will see sometimes, most of the time, people use just a simple join. Sometimes left join. You will just specify a table what you really need, like first one. You will do it here, and that's why sometimes it's not supported by any different database, right join and full join. I'm typing, just you need to post and see what happens if you change it.
Oh, I believe MySQL supports all, actually 5 of them.
Yeah.
Inner, outer, left, right, and cross. I never even tried cross. I mean, 90% of time you just use inner join, really.
This my table.
Well, guys, you need to practice joins. That's the most important topic of this relational databases, like SQL databases. You cannot avoid that question. So if they require you to know SQL, they will ask you joins, period.
Yeah.
They
will actually give you
ask joins. It's the most important thing.
It's not complicated at all, but again, if you don't use it for a while, of course, it's difficult to do it, but it just requires practice.
Yeah, and I posted a special case in the homework channel. Don't do it right now, but once you have time, please, there is a special assignment for you. And it's kind of detective QA work plus some, how should I put it? Some curiosity. So that's what will be required from you in order to resolve that.
Let's see what changed if I'm changing to left join. Left join, actually, it will show me all data from table users. And if some data missed from different table, it will just have empty fields. Need to find example. Right join. Let's try right join. Right join will be different. It will be. You see?
It's still running.
It's too slow. I see. It's trying to combine.
Pretty heavy.
Yeah, that's why.
Usually, to avoid this kind of things, for example, I worked for Disney and there was a table with like billions of rows. So if you run simple query like this, you can actually break the database because it will take hours to execute that query.
That's why I specify like top 100, for example, rows.
Or limit in the end.
But again, like this, it's not all. I tried in Postgre in this previous table and it didn't work. Oh no, it should work. Top 5. Will it work?
You need to cancel your query at the bottom first.
Do we have? Yeah. Cancel.
It's on top. No, in the middle of the screen. You see execute query and seconds counting.
This one?
In the middle. No, in the middle.
Looking.
Of the result set. Yeah, right here. Yeah, right there.
I see. Okay. Cancelled. Nothing.
Uh-oh.
You want to say like we have so many posts in our database?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, if all the guys are doing
we're probably
same.
just running the same right now. All these queries maybe just overwhelm our server because we all running the same tables same time. Load in seconds. Sonia, you was like, you see, like we cannot do it. Yeah, it just probably is the reason like all people trying to run this at the same time. Anyway, if you want to select top 5, for example, rows, it will work like this: top. You will specify 500 in parentheses, but again, I'm not sure if it will work because in Postgre it didn't work. But it's all running from documentation. You can try. It's the difference. How to join?
Yeah, it should work in MySQL.
I hope so, but I don't know. Should I wait even more? Or
No, I think it gets stuck.
Maybe I will just refresh my connection. No. Everything died on my computer. It was question if you can combine 3 different tables together. Yes, guys, we will do the same. You just write and join here, and you will specify another connection between, like, for example, another table, like, I don't know. Do you know which one we can combine right now and has data in it?
Yeah, you can do like post meta, for example.
From it's still running actually, like, but let me try post data. Post meta. Okay, let's see what is inside of this post meta. Probably we need to find what is the relationship between users table and very completed. Cool. You see, and it's died. I need to reconnect it again. Okay, it's back. Tables.
Yeah, it's additional information like all the images that are used on that page. A lot of different stuff like size and like templates. So you see post ID, it's
post
foreign
ID.
key. And here, yeah, it's primary key in post. So this is how those two related to each other.
Post beta on PS ID, right? It's just ID. Is equal should work like this. Just need to die again. You see now it works. You see right now we combine 3 different tables together. It's actually first our table users. It's another table post and another table metadata. The difference is what I did differently. You see, like here, it's how user table relate to post table. And the second join was like how post table relate to metadata. And it's the way how you can combine multiple tables, because, for example, we need to combine some meta, you see, like with users, but they are not to connect like straightly to each other. They have like some table in the middle that we can connect to find all data what we need.
Yeah, so for example, like for payment option, there will be one table, then for user, another table, then for orders, another table, for products, another table. and within the products, there's can be something else. So if you want to really see, like, let's say on certain date, particular user, what that user bought, you will have to combine like all 5 or 6 tables. And in fact, guys, just don't be frustrated. These are very, very simple examples. You don't need to know anything more really. But developers, when they write their queries, I saw with my own eyes, like queries like 5 pages long, like literally like hundreds of lines.
Yeah.
Like huge, huge, huge ones. We're only dealing with like 1 to maybe 10 lines or something like that. But those queries can be huge.
Yeah, I wanted to show one more thing today, like probably people just frustrated after you started join. When you just make connection in DBeer, it was question from this application if you want to create sample database. If you click no, you will not see this database here. If you click yes, it will install like simple database for exercises. It's really easier to read these tables. You can practice here as well if you would like. And can you type me in chat if you have access to this sample? Again, if you click sample, it will be in your computer. If you didn't do it, probably.
No, yeah, I actually do have that one as well.
Yeah, and it's cool and it's simple. You see, like we have album and we have artist and some invoice, and we can have practice with this one as well. If something will die again in TestPro side, we can test it. It's actually, we don't have UI for this, but
it's
actually
nice. Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's a real
table.
SQL database, yeah, locally, so you don't have to connect anything. It's always there.
Let's see, I just found here, I wanted to show, I'm not sure again, like if everyone has it. If no, you just need to maybe reinstall DBeer from scratch and it will have this question if you want to install the sample. Let's see what they have, like, you see like these different tables, album, artist, customer, employee, so on. If I stay in this album, I do right click and view diagram. And here, it's actually what I wanted to display like in TestPro, you see? It's actually draw for me how they relate to each other. Actually, album where I right now, it's related to artist and it's related to track. You see, if you wanna like to do connections, you can find same artist ID, album, you see, you can make connection between them. It's a good diagram. For example, for employee, it will be empty. Invoice, it's probably, oops, not the wrong one. View diagram here. You see how it's relationship. I just right click on diagram in invoice table, and I see invoice table it's somehow connected to customer and connected to invoice line. See? And we can try to combine some tables right now. I don't know what you hear, but actually all my 3 kids running right now and screaming about me. Okay, album, it's album ID, title, artist ID, and you see it's probably artist ID. And here it's another table what we can check. It's actually probably will be names of artist. See like name, Ira Smith. Let's combine these both tables together. I wanna select all from artist and join. What is another one? Album on artist ID equal album did it uppercase. And here you see it's actually artist ID in another table as well. Let's combine them together and you'll see what happens. Because right now you see like it's two different tables with different counts, but I want to see all them together. Here we go. See? Guys, do you have this sample? Someone? Do you have access? It's another like here on the left. You see like it's another database I have installed. Cool. Denisio, if someone doesn't have, just try to delete this application, the vir, and install it again. It will raise question. You probably click no at the start. It's good table for you to practice because probably it will be maybe easier for you to understand what you combine together instead of combine maybe TestPro, because you still don't have access to TestPro website. That's why it doesn't matter what you will actually test. And try to combine, for example, like customer, it's actually someone who actually bought something, right? Customer, it's maybe it's like music store or something like this, probably application behind of it. You see like customer, it's customer ID, first name, last name, company. It's good example actually to show you it's not null value. You see this column, company, first name, last name, but it's actually someone bought from JetBrains, Woodstock, Microsoft. Someone bought the create account from personal. And you see, I just want to display everyone who doesn't have company or has company. You see, like it's null value. Remember, I show you like another comment where company, it's case sensitive for some reason. It shouldn't be, but it's okay. Company is not null. Remember, it's actually giving me another syntax. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I wrote like, you see, I specify like where company is not null. It means like if it's no company name inside of company column, I don't want to see all these users, you see? And right now I have just 10 users. They all have company. Probably when they register their account, they specify first name, last name, and company and address. Or for example, I want users who missed their state when they create account, or for example, zip code. Maybe they have, it's weird zip codes. Let's say I wanna find all users who missed the zip code while registered. For some reason, sometimes it can be very important to include zip code. Our website, it's allowed to user skip it, but somewhere else in our integration process, it will be failed. Happens postal code is now. Let's see what happens. You see like a few users actually skip postal code. If you will try and to send them something, maybe we can have an issue. We actually don't have a zip code for them, and we cannot send them anything by post office, right? Or we can contact them, or we can, for example, manually do enter postal code based on their address. It's actually not United States, it's Lisbon, Porto, Dublin. Maybe they really don't have postcode, or they have different name for postcode. See? Let's see like customer, let's see like I want to check like customer, we have like table of customers right here. and I want to check, like, combine them with invoices, because probably if they bought something, we send them invoice from customer. Let's combine with invoice table. Invoice. Customer ID. ID equal invoice table. Invoice table dash customer ID. Actually, see, sometimes tables, it's really simple. They have same name, but it can actually be like ID, and then you need to think like, what is the relationship? I will show you here. It's really visible, all this relationship. Okay, I combine this both together, and let's see what we'll have. Customer ID. What do you have? Okay, didn't specify. Probably. I just specify columns from one table. That's why it was wrong. And I want to see, for example, let me do alias. You see, right now it's everything works. I just need to type like full name of column here, or table here. But remember, we can do like alias. I will give my variable to my column, like C and I, and I don't need to write this customer again. I want a first name of user. I want a last name of user. Maybe I want to I don't know, email. And I want to specify something from invoice date when we send them invoice. And I want to specify like billing postal, billing city, total. I want to see like how much they bought total. Let's run it again. What I did wrong again? Okay, it's just raising me error because I did alias everywhere and I need to change it here in reference. You see, I combine both tables together. Actually, this person, like this first name, and let me specify his ID. ID, customer ID. Okay, you see like customer ID, like he's non-Leone, Kochler with email. This one, he bought something like in 2007, and with total order like 198. And maybe I wanna like sort, let's order what is the biggest, let's actually like sort like what was the latest invoice date for this. See who was latest. Sending way. You see, like latest invoice was like 2011, a pretty old database. Let's see, like latest invoice. From people who still asking where I can get this database, if you don't have it, you need to reinstall this application, DBR again, and it will ask you if you want to install sample. During installation, it was question, do you want to install sample? Yes, click yes, and if you click no by mistake, it will not see it here. And let's see, for example, order, for example, order title, what was the biggest, what they bought, total. You see, like the biggest value what they paid, like 20, not paid, what we sent invoice to them, like $25. See? And maybe I wanna also specify, like I wanna also, let's say, like invoice date, and let's use the same command what we used previously in our test. Invoice date, more than what we did, like core date. Dennis, it doesn't understand my syntax here.
What is that again?
Core date, I'm trying to do this core date. Did I do something wrong? You see, it's trying to, I want to just do some comparison, but it doesn't work. You see, I just want to use like, okay, here we go. It's just slow again. It just didn't show up first time, core date. Yeah, it's still here. Core date.
I don't think it's right.
I don't want to more than current date. Let me see, like.
It should be core date. One word with parentheses.
It's current date should work the same, no? It just with timestamp. I didn't type it, it was here. Current date, current time step, you see, like, it should work, I believe. Nobody. Yeah, it's working. It's by default menu with some methods built in. Yeah, you see, it's showing us who previously bought, like, not today.
Beaver is not the worst SQL client. It's okay.
Pretty nice. It just takes every application, you know, like it's like some pluses and minuses to use them. It just takes time to figure out some basic features. But you see, like, guys, its idea is the same. It's SQL language. You need to know SQL language, what we show you, like SQL Bolt, to try to run these exercises, W3 School. If something they will ask on interview, like main question will be if you can create queries, they will give you like simply draw something like table on whiteboard sometimes, and just will give you like paper and pen and say like, can you write me select statement from here or join these tables, you know. Nobody will give you really access like to database with like complicated tables. They will ask you something simple. That's why you need just to practice on these websites what I gave you before, and as you will see, like, doesn't matter which database, SQL database you're using, it still understands simple SQL syntax, right? Logic is the same. And then in real life and real company, you will survive and figure out how their tables work and what is the name. You see here, you can just explore at home, for example, customer. If you click in on foreign key, customer table, if you double click on foreign key, it will actually show you which table is related. It's actually related to employee table, and relationship between them probably somewhere it will be like a key employee ID. You see this, if you wanna connect them together, you actually can use like employee ID with probably ID in this table. Just play around at home to see what they have in our examples. Here actually see how they create this table. It's pretty cool. Specify like columns name, what kind of value, with like data type, and how big it can be. You see, create unique. It's the same what we saw with you in presentation in W3 School. Okay. That's it. Let's like another few minutes if you have. How do you know what is dollar amount? What do you mean? I don't understand question. Or do you know what is it? Do you mean like total? When I did this, just total? It just obvious. It just obvious if it's invoice table with some prices. Actually, it should be price. It's like human logic. It's not dollars. It will not be dollar sign because it just can be integer inside of this table. But of course, total it's probably something that people order. I just use common sense. I didn't see this.
Yeah, it could be euro or any other currency.
Yes, if you meant like why I think a dollar, I don't know if it's dollars. I just say it so, but it actually can be different type of currency.
Yeah, it will be probably just some number, and then there is another table maybe to
convert. Yeah.
Yeah, to convert one to another, and so on. It can be pretty complicated.
Yeah. It could be, yeah, yes, exactly. What you said, it can be like, it will be different table or it will be built-in code, what will be transfer our, like, for example, everything will be stored in same value, but we will know, for example, we store everything in dollars only on in euros, or it will not be probably mix of prices here. If we save this data and we want to save like amount, probably we know what currency we use. If user are allowed to buy something in dollars, in euro, in different countries, probably we convert it, but in this table, it will be saved in same currency. Or we will have like different column actually here, and we will know what kind of currency. It will be dollar here. It's right question what you ask. If we don't know, it's probably one currency here. If it will be different, they can create like currency and you will see dollar, euro, and again, you need to find all users who pay in euro, right? You will just search query and you will find from.
But then guys, don't forget that the exchange rate changes like pretty frequently, right? So you may end up having another table with like all the currencies exchange rate for every single day and so on, because otherwise how would you calculate like if you can buy something from, let's say, Germany. I mean, right now, just go to any German website, you can buy it, and you will be paying like in euros, but because your credit cards in the United States dollars, it will be converted, right? But if you buy the same tomorrow, it's going to be different price actually in dollars.
Anyway, it's not so simple what Dennis mentioned.
It can be very complicated, yeah.
Yes, it will be different API, different application building. And Dennis mentioned about search criteria database. I know like all companies where I worked, we actually don't search in our database. We have different search engine built in our website. Like, you know, like it can be much more complicated. You will get it from your company where you'll be work on. You just need to know like this simple stuff what we explain. But it actually can be more complicated, and company no one will expect when they join. They will give you time.
And it's actually the same for purchasing, because we usually use like PayPal or Stripe or whatever third-party service. So you would probably never save that information in your database, because just that logic around the pricing and exchange rates, it's through the roof. The same with search. I know that a lot of companies buy those searching algorithms or use some third-party services just because searching itself is very complicated.
And actually, in my company, in Tundra.com, if you will open this website, Tundra.com, you will see, for example, if you search any product in their website, and it gave me results, and I still think like I am sitting in like Tundra, and I see Tundra web page. Actually, it's already another company, another server. It's very complicated. Even for me, it was surprise. Like, come on, I just, like it's my website. No, we just update all data to different company overnight. And if you do some changes in UI, in search window, it will be still old UI. It can be sometimes like complicated, but again, nobody expects you will know all of this. It's cool feature. It's good always questions for them to interview, because not they will ask you. You will need to ask what you use for search, what kind of, depends what they're doing. It's always welcome to ask these questions. They always happy when people ask these questions. They always happy to explain their world, you know, like, because it seems like people interested in their company, right? Ask this question: what kind of database you use, like what do you use for payment, and so on, so on, so on. Everything what you ask us, like, you know, like, but maybe more advanced level, just ask them in interview. What they use, how do you know this, what application you use. It's always good questions for an interview to ask people who asking you, and it will be a good conversation between you. Okay, guys, actually, we already run later. I hope it will be more clear and helpful for both groups, like B5 has access like to this SQL, and you will able to practice as well. And yeah, I posted a presentation in a lesson presentation channel. You can practice. I will do the same in a B5 group to make sure like you see all these exercises. You can practice and yeah, just try to do all comment what we did like previously in these websites.
Yeah, and don't go too deep.
No, it's enough.
Bottomless, really. The SQL, there is a whole science around this, and DBAs, database administrator, database engineers, and data scientists, and like a lot. So you don't need to know all of that. Basically,
No,
all that we covered, it's really enough, but joins are must-have.
You see, we both like have, I don't know who has more experience, me or Denise, like in QA world, but almost the same. But I mean, like, even we are, like, we see like all this database from scratch and open, you know, like, it's okay, don't know something, you know, like, you will just survive, like, Google it, like,
even simple,
find
like current date, I would Google that because I don't remember.
Yeah, because I use in SQL Server is get date, I know it, but in current date, yeah, but I will just Google how to find in this specific database.
You use MS SQL, right?
I use like Microsoft SQL Server.
Yeah. So
yes,
that's what we used. That's what I used in 2 previous companies, and even MySQL, I don't remember a thing. Even though it's very similar, I have to Google like every 2 minutes, literally.
And it's normal, and developers, they do the same, you know, like they never shine to search, like, and even if they do like development and any other language, when I ask questions, they say, I don't know, I did it like 2 years ago, you know, like, it's okay, don't know, don't remember, it's always normal. If you don't work, you just forget this, it's okay. But we all, like me and Denise, don't get it wrong. We always prepare for interview. It doesn't mean if I didn't work with SQL like last 2 years, I go to new job and I'm passing interview, I will still open SQL, practice the same website what you're doing, and we'll go interview. It doesn't mean I will say I forgot. If I will, yeah, it's normal answer, but I will still prepare for questions and I will still do some exercise. All the time, doesn't matter, 10 years experience you will have or 1 year, you will still be prepared for interviews, spend hours, nights. It's normal, totally normal.
Yeah, I failed a lot of SQL related interviews, even though I was senior automation engineer, honestly. I failed a lot of them, and I will fail a lot of them right now if they ask me.
Yeah, same here. But it's okay, we all will have jobs, you know, like, yeah, it will be enough for all of us. Okay, so guys,
I posted three tasks for you. Please send me your SQL queries, and there is a special prize.
Can I give a prize too?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, and see you next week. Hopefully API session. It's another fun for us. Don't put in long wait like this SQL, because API will, you know, like you will open new page, you will practice with API, do the SQL during the weekend until Tuesday, and we will start API on Tuesday, and you will have more knowledge. And don't wait, start practicing right now. Okay, and see you all next Tuesday. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.